we solved a couple things. First thing we solved was the actual Bowden connector. So we've raised the inside of this guy right in here to sit more flush with the top side of your extruder here. We did that already. We also fixed, this is fixed on this version, the threading is actually perfect now. So you can unscrew on the, because you have to space this, I wasn't thinking about it, but you have to space this hot end, right? The way I had it, I think I should have an example piece around here. Yeah. Right inside my little bin here. This is an older model. I've had a few iterations past this point, but you can see how the bottom is flat, right? So it would essentially, you would have a top piece in here, and then, well, it would sit more like this, but yeah. You'd have a little top piece up in here, but this piece would sit against your radiator here. And if it's flat, then the hot end would sit flat like that, and that's not good. You need space, or this hot end's going to be touching and making contact with the radiator completely, because this is the part that actually heats up this brick. For the people that don't know, this is the part that heats up. This is where your connectors all come in and all that stuff. So this is the square is the actual heating element. The rest of this just heats up the nozzle and all that. Heats up through contact. So if I have this like this, it's not going to be good. This radiator is probably going to start overheating. It's going to start melting this. Then you're going to have heat creep go up, and it's going to melt the filament as you go up if this thing doesn't fail first. So, and then I was like, well, because this piece makes contact. You can see here, this little nubbin here makes contact with the actual, this little piece makes contact with the radiator through the hole here, right? And that gives it a gap. So when you sit this flush, the end of this to the little nubbin back there, it gives a gap, enabling this to be spaced. If I didn't have that nubbin down there, there's no way to space this, because when you screw this in, the screws only hold it against that nub, right? It's screwed into the radiator, yes, but this will just slide around. Even if you leave it loose, it will just sit here and it will do that, pretty much. You can do that if you don't tighten the screws all the way down. So the nub actually gives resistance to the back side of this little hot end and gives it a gap. So you need that little space. So then I was like, you know what? I'll print a little spacer. Right? I'll print something that just goes in here, essentially, which I did. And it will give a space, a gap. But then I was like, hold on. That would be okay if you're printing PLA, right? If your temps aren't getting that hot. If you printed this in ASA, you could print PLA all day with this setup, with this being ASA. But as soon as you're trying to print an ASA, this is going to melt. So that's going to cause a problem already. So another, so I solved that. I think I solved it. We're not going to know anything until I get down to actual testing, but I just want to make sure that I'm trying to eliminate as much problems as possible here. So I bought some of these off Amazon. These are little, actually I have one out here right now. These are little aluminum, I don't know if you can see that. Little tiny aluminum little kind of spacers, I guess. They fit perfectly. A little Teflon tube or PTFE tube. I'm pretty sure they use Teflon in this little tube in here. If you take out this little tube inside, I'm pretty sure it's Teflon. I could be wrong, but I don't know what else they would use. It's not silicone because it's not soft enough. And I think PTFE actually burns. I think burns at a lower temp than Teflon. Teflon can take a pretty high temp. Obviously, they put it on pans. I believe these are PTFE tubes, which is fine because I'm just going to take these and replace it into this side. Since this side is not making contact with the hot end anymore, I can just replace this into there and then take this one out and cut it to size in here because I think it's longer than what I actually need. And then essentially, so I made this little inlay. I don't know if you can see that. So it's not flat anymore like it is on this one. You can kind of see a comparison. There's a little ring there, little inlay. And that was originally for this little piece, right? I was thinking ASA, but I'm an idiot. So we're not going to use that because that's stupid. It just so happens to be the same exact size as that. So all you would need is just to take out this little guy in here and shove it in there, right? So you got it in there like the little blue one here because they're the same size. Same inner and outer diameter, no difference. Then you just shove it onto here like that. Then you have your gap, right? And then you can just cut this smooth with the actual barrel here, and then you'll have your, if we can get that on there. Actually, I'll do the, because I have plenty of this stuff, so I'll just go ahead and kind of show you here. Might speed this up, not too sure. Don't cut your fingers, kids. All right, that's good. Yeah, that's fine. Maybe a little bit too short. That's okay. It's just for demonstration, anyways. Because I'm not putting that PTFE in there like it is. Why does this seem wrong? Oh, that's right. Actually, no, it's wrong. Why does that seem wrong? Oh, because it's upside down. It's supposed to be like that. Yeah, there we go. All right, sweet. So we're like that. And I'll probably just speed this guy's up part right here. So put this together. I'll show you guys running by the slide if you don't have that there. You can just face it. I mean, you probably could. You probably could put some nuts. That might work. I'm not too sure. I don't know what's with it. You can see now. Actually, that's too tight. I would try to use it. Bubble. That's a bubble. So yeah, now it's nice and flat, and you have a, if you can see that, you have a nice gap. I don't think you'll need to put two of these. Hopefully one's enough. I mean, as long as it's not making contact, I don't think there's going to be an issue. But you might be able to, if I take this apart and I can kind of show you. So you have a gap right there. But see, this can move. Like, you can flatten this, and this will move. So I don't know if you could, like, put, like, some very tiny nuts down here as well. That could be one solution. But I'd rather have everything in this as close as possible. That way there's no feeding issues either. So that's why I just went ahead and got these little spacer, and these are aluminum too, so these will actually dissipate heat pretty well, a lot better than if I got like Teflon spacers or something like that. I'm pretty sure that's what they made this out of. This whole extruder, I'm pretty sure, is some type of aluminum, possibly. I don't know what else they would use to dissipate heat, but I would think that that's what that is. Because it is metallic of some sort. I'm just not sure what it is. Pretty sure it's aluminum, though. I could be wrong on that, though. Don't take my words for that. But also, just to go along here, we have fixed. I actually haven't put this on yet. So I guess I'll go ahead and do that while I'm here. So yeah, there we go. That's pretty much gonna be it. I think that sits pretty well too. I'm not too sure. We'll see when we get everything on there if it's gonna be in the way. Loading. We're loading up Shaper. We're going to make some edits because I finally have time. Load. Sorry, I got a couple programs running, so it's kind of slow right now. And this is a more I add to this, the longer it takes to load. So first things first, yeah. We're redoing this. This whole thing's gonna get redone just because. Well, not redone. I'm sorry. I'm gonna make it look a little bit better. But I think I've come to a decision that we are not doing this in plastic, right? We're not going to print this. I think I'm going to send this off to its PCBWay, and I'm going to buy them in bulk, and I'm going to get together a couple of different other things. So like screws, I'm going to put in like a little spacer or a couple spacers just so you have a couple there. Probably two, and then exactly a couple. We'll probably do that, and we're going to be making this whole thing out of metal. So we're going to have them 3D printed in metal, and then that way it's cheaper, because if I buy all this stuff in bulk and I put it in a package for you guys, you can actually do this mod a lot cheaper than, like, for example, I think PCBWay, just to print this actual exact model here, costs like $29 by itself. But if I buy like 5 or 10 or whatever, they're only like $60-something for that many. So I'll probably just end up buying 10 and then putting a package of 10 together. Because I don't know how many people are actually going to use this mod, and I don't want to, buy a bunch of stock if people aren't going to use it. So, I'll definitely keep this model in the files for you guys. But when I upload all this stuff. But I'm definitely not going to advise you using this, just because I've done some stress testing on it. So you could possibly get away with it if you did a smaller, like a lighter spring for the extruder. But I just don't want to mess with that because then you might run into issues with filament grip or, stuff of that nature. So you can try it if you want to. I'm not going to go down that route. So in a couple of days here, I'm probably going to get around to remodeling the... actually, I can probably do it right now. Remodeling that and... yeah. So you can see I fixed the... oh, you can't actually see it. But if you go down in here... somewhere in here. Let me inside. Let me in. I went inside the extruder. Not supposed to do that. Right here. You can see the gap here. So that's perfect for that. So we're just going to go ahead and do some editing on some of these parts just to get them nice and flush for you guys. So yeah, we just got to bring this down as a whole. So we'll go ahead and do that right now. Just nice and flush. Alright, sweet. So that's done. Done. Wow, so hard, right? Didn't take much there. This is a little bit backwards, but other than that, 180. 80. There we go. So yeah, you'll have that edited. And that was not supposed to pop up. Go away. I don't want you notifications. So yeah, I don't even know why I have Gen Z or subreddit notifying me. I'm not even subscribed to their subreddit, so that's kind of weird. But I do comment in there every once in a while. But other than that, can I not click that? I guess I can't. Alright, so yeah, I pretty much did that, fixed that. Let's see what else we're gonna do here. So that's all good, that's good. That's good, that's edited. Oh, we don't need these. We can take these out. Don't need these guys anymore, for sure. If it will let me. Okay, I don't know what you're doing, but you need to stop. Okay, thank you. There. There's that one. Oh. Not what I wanted to do. I hate it when I get stuck in a model and shaper. Sometimes it can be quite annoying. I just have too much stuff around me. If I cleaned up my space a little bit, it would probably be a lot easier to maneuver, but yeah. Nope, that's not what I wanted to click on. Perfect. No longer need those because we're not doing it. Or hold on, do we need those? No, we don't need those because the spacer creates that correct positioning on it. So you actually don't need those at all. We can just completely get rid of those. And then same with this, we can isolate this and get rid of the little nubbins up here. Don't need either one of these, so flush. Sweet. So I'll go ahead and exit that. All right, I think this is pretty much good though. And then yeah, we'll probably just transfer once I get these complete for the stalker type of stuff, like the stock fan and whatnot. I'll transfer the rest of the copies to the like this is the 5015 mount. This is the one with the whatchamacallit, CR Touch, and then I'll probably maybe making a CR Touch with the stock, and then I'll do a CR Touch with the stock fan, and then a CR Touch version with the 5015 fan, just so we can have all of them. And then yeah, you can just pick which one you want. But once I get one that is more closer to the actual finish line, then that's when I'll do that. And then possibly after that, I'll probably test it a few times on the machine. I gotta get it on the machine before I can make the bump stop. So get the thing on the actual machine, take measurements on the machine itself, and then making the bump stop, which shouldn't be. That should be probably the least of modeling. That shouldn't take much time at all to actually get going, and actually getting the cutter to cut. This was the hard part. The hard part's almost over, so yeah. And then I'll probably remodel this guy just to make it look better, because if people were going to be buying it, I want it to look good. You know what I mean? So on top of being functional. So if we isolate this, yeah, so I I'll probably have next video I make. I'll probably have pricing and stuff and more testing of the actual stuff, and then the bump, and then hopefully we have the cutter working by the next video. And if we do, then we're gonna move on to the airway and start making different models of fans and whatnot. Whatever kind of ducts we're gonna be using on these, we're gonna make different variety. I'm gonna make not gonna make one for a stock fan, because I think that's ridiculous. If you're doing all this, you don't have a stock fan. I'm sorry. And if you want to do this, well, this is going to be the time you upgrade from a stock fan. So, not going to make it iterations for a stock fan. Somebody else can do that if they want to. But so I'm going to do 5015s, and I'm going to do. I'll probably go dual 5015s. I'm not going to do any singulars, and then I'll do the CPAP, of course, the CPAP machine, which is what I will be running on it. Yeah, just look out for the next video, and we'll hopefully have a lot more information for you. But so far we figured out a lot of things, and I think this is enough information on a video to kind of share with you guys. So just kind of letting you guys know where I'm at. But yeah, just watch out for the next upload. All right.